In the year 1975, a young girl named Jean Grey is driving with her parents when a sudden argument distracts her. Emotions explode inside her mind, and in one terrifying second, her powers burst out of control. The car crashes. Her mother dies instantly, and Jean survives with guilt buried deep inside her heart. That moment changes everything. Years later, Professor Charles Xavier takes Jean into his school for gifted youngsters, where she grows into one of the most powerful mutants on Earth. But even Charles knows something dangerous is hidden inside her mind, something he's been mentally blocking for years. Fast forward to 1992. The X-Men have become heroes loved by the public. Charles Xavier is respected by the president himself, and mutants are finally being accepted. Mystique leads missions in the field alongside Cyclops, Storm, Nightcrawler, Quicksilver, and Jean Grey. Everything seems peaceful until a desperate call comes from space. A rescue shuttle is stranded after being hit by a mysterious solar flare. The X-Men launch into space aboard the X-Jet to save the astronauts before the shuttle is destroyed. The mission goes smoothly at first, but then a massive cosmic energy wave slams into the shuttle like a living storm. Jean realizes someone has to hold the ship together from outside. Ignoring everyone's warnings, she steps into space. The cosmic force hits her directly. The energy should have killed her instantly, but instead, Jean absorbs it. Back on Earth, everyone is shocked she survived. But something feels wrong. Jean begins hearing voices, seeing flashes, and losing control of her powers. Tiny emotional cracks become violent explosions. Her abilities grow stronger by the hour, far beyond anything Charles has ever seen. During a celebration party, Jean accidentally reads Charles Xavier's thoughts and discovers a horrifying truth. Charles lied to her. Her father didn't die in the crash. He abandoned her because he feared her powers, and Charles secretly erased parts of her memories to keep her stable. Jean feels betrayed. For years, the man she trusted most controlled her mind like a puppet. Angry and confused, Jean leaves the mansion to find her father. But when she arrives at his house, she discovers he built an entirely new life without her. He admits he was terrified of her powers and chose to stay away. That pain shatters the final wall inside Jean's mind. Her power erupts violently. The X-Men arrive to calm her down, but emotions explode into chaos. Beast blames Charles for manipulating Jean. Mystique tries to reach Jean emotionally, telling her she still has a family with the X-Men. But Jean loses control. With one massive psychic blast, Mystique is thrown backward into debris and killed instantly. Everything stops. The team is devastated. Beast is consumed by rage and abandons Xavier, believing his selfish choices caused all of this. Meanwhile, Jean flees into the night as governments label her a global threat. But Jean isn't the only danger. The cosmic force she absorbed was being hunted by alien shapeshifters called the Bari. Their home world was destroyed by that same energy, and now their leader, Vuk, believes Jean can either destroy planets or create a new universe. Vuk approaches Jean pretending to be friendly, manipulating her while secretly planning to steal the force for herself. Jean, emotionally broken and hunted by everyone, struggles to control the darkness growing inside her. She isolates herself, afraid she'll hurt anyone who gets close. Meanwhile, Magneto has been living peacefully on a mutant sanctuary island called Genosha. After hearing about Mystique's death, Beast visits him and convinces him that Jean must die before she destroys the world. Magneto gathers a small mutant army and hunts Jean down. The conflict explodes in New York City. Jean seeks shelter, but Magneto and his followers attack her violently. A brutal fight erupts in the streets as Magneto uses metal weapons to pin Jean down. For a moment, it looks like he might actually kill her. Then Jean unleashes her full power. Cars fly through the air. Buildings shake. Entire streets crumble beneath psychic energy. Magneto realizes she's far beyond anything he can stop. The military arrives and captures both the X-Men and Magneto's group, placing them aboard a heavily guarded mutant transport train. But things go from bad to worse when Vuk and the Bari attack the train to take the Phoenix Force from Jean. Suddenly, the movie turns into full chaos. Aliens begin slaughtering soldiers inside the moving train while the X-Men fight desperately to survive. Nightcrawler teleports through cars, taking enemies down one by one. Storm unleashes lightning blasts that tear through the darkness. Magneto rips weapons from the train itself and turns them into deadly metal storms. Cyclops fires optic blasts non-stop while protecting Jean. Even enemies are forced to work together now. Because if Vuk gets the Phoenix Force, Earth is finished. Inside the train, Jean finally understands the truth. The darkness inside her was never evil. It was her pain, fear, loneliness, and rage all mixed with unlimited power. Instead of running from it, she decides to face it. Vuk confronts Jean outside the train during a massive battle in the sky. The alien leader reveals her true goal: absorb the Phoenix Force and wipe out humanity to build a new world. But Jean has changed. For the first time in her life, she accepts herself completely. No lies, no fear, no mental barriers, only power, pure cosmic power. The final battle becomes absolutely insane. Jean rises into the air surrounded by fiery energy brighter than the sun itself. Metal melts around her. The ground shakes. Even Magneto looks terrified watching her transform. Vuk attacks with full force, smashing Jean through buildings and ripping apart the train yard. But Jean barely reacts anymore. She's evolved into something beyond human, beyond mutant. Then comes the final moment. Jean grabs Vuk and flies high into the atmosphere as the Phoenix energy explodes around them like a living star. In one blinding burst of cosmic fire, Vuk is completely destroyed. The explosion lights up the entire sky, and Jean disappears with it. The world believes Jean Grey is dead. Weeks later, the X-Men try to move on. Xavier, finally realizing the damage caused by his control and ego, leaves the school behind. Beast becomes the new headmaster, renaming the academy in honor of Jean Grey. Magneto returns to Genosha, carrying the weight of everything that happened. Cyclops still struggles with losing Jean, but he knows she saved the world. And somewhere far above Earth, a giant fiery phoenix shape appears in the sky. Jean Grey may be gone, but the phoenix still lives, and its power is only beginning.